Hey guys, this is Anne-Marie from Sheets That Teach. I am a special education teacher and I've teamed up with Laura from You Are Love Templates. She is the spreadsheet mastermind that helps bring all of our teacher dream data sheets to life. And I would totally go check out her page if you need some tools for outside of the classroom. She's got about any kind of tracker you could ever imagine, and her Google Sheets course has taught me absolutely everything I know. So if our templates aren't fitting your needs and you need something super individualized that you would love to learn how to build yourself, go ahead, check out her class. Or even again, if you just want to learn how to edit some of those formulas by yourself, maybe you could even have admin cover it as a form of PD. Just an idea. Let's see. Can never hurt to ask, right? And hey, a PD we would actually enjoy. We all love that. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Today, we're going to be walking through our brand new tool. This is something super duper simple compared to all of our other tools. This is a support staff call log, and this isn't necessarily more for that detailed student data like you're going to get from the behavior interval frequency tracker. Gosh, say that 3 times fast. And some things like the behavior log, I view those as more your trend between behaviors, what actually happened during the behaviors. Maybe even the ABC behavior tracker could be beneficial for that too. But this is more so just a tool for you to have something to hand something to admin, or maybe admin hand something to district that says, this is how many times I've needed to call for support staff from October to November alone. I've had to call 15 times, and across those 15 minutes, staff members have had to spend over 300 minutes de-escalating my students, and those 300 minutes were probably pulling them from an assigned responsibility. So again, really just trying to show them, hey, I need help, and something that you can easily point out and see, like, my student Jamal needs the most support. The hardest thing right now is recess. That's where I could really use more support in my classroom, and it's typically, again, biggest problems I'm having are peer conflicts and property destruction. So again, just really knowing what kind of help they'll see, what kind of help you need and what you're asking for. We know we need numbers to make things happen nowadays, so we wanted something printer friendly that did the math for you and presented it in a beautiful way. So we came up with the support staff call log. Now, there is a teacher version available, and there is also an admin version available. So the main difference you're going to see between these two is that, so on the admin version, it's going to have teacher, grade level, and the reason. And then on the teacher one, it's going to be the specific student you called for, what subject it was, and the reason you called. So we did this again because a principal first asked us for this tool, but we knew that teachers would need it, and we kind of were really thinking, like, in a perfect world, if your admin was using this tool and teachers were using this tool at the same time, admin could go ahead and hand this to district and be like, look how much Mr. Johnson needs support. And again, that's likely all Mr. Johnson right there. But again, something that, this is my 2 teachers that need help, Mr. Carter and Mr. Johnson. In a perfect world, if both admin and teachers were using this, admin would be able to say, look at how many times I've had to call for Mr. Johnson. We got to get support for Mr. Johnson. And if they're like, oh, why does Mr. Johnson need all this support? Mr. Johnson can then pull up his call log and tell you, I'm needing support for Jamal. I need it specifically during recess. It's mainly due to property destruction and a peer conflict. So again, no, this wouldn't tell you specifically which student, but if the teacher is using it, then you'd have that detailed data there. And another really, really cool thing about this tool is that you'll notice that there's not a setup tab down here like there typically is. Our dashboard is acting as our setup tab. There's not nearly as many things that need to be pulled or graphs that need to be made. So you literally, whatever you're typing in here for student, subject, reason, or again, obviously teacher, grade level, or reason, anything that you type in these is going to go ahead and generate the drop down menus for when you're actually taking data. For again, like that's all my subject options, my reasons, and then my name of staff that you end up writing over here too. So all of these will generate the drop down menus that you need. One thing I really, really, really want to point out is that both the reason column and the staff called column, you'll notice that these are bubbles rather than a whole cell being filled with color. All the bubble columns are going to be multi-select, meaning that if it was for more than one reason, I can go ahead and click that. If I'm not seeing it, you can go ahead and widen that column. I don't know why, even when it's on wrap text, you can't necessarily see some that are overpouring. Not sure, but anyway, let me just go ahead and undo those things. Okay, so now, again, another thing, because the reason and the staff called are multi-select, something super, super important to remember that has tricked me numerous times is when you are writing these, you cannot leave a space at the end like that. For some reason, when it's multi-select, that confuses Google Sheets. So make sure that the reason or the staff has a space next to it. I'm just going to show you what would happen if I were to leave a space next to it. If I went to verbal outburst, it's going to tell me that it can't do it. It's literally just as simple as going back. Sister, stop it. It's literally just as simple as going back and pressing undo, or again, just taking that space away. And we'll go over, how to change the color of some of these cells, and we'll even go over the color scale towards the end. But for sake of this video, I want to go ahead and help you guys get right into setting it up. So we are going to go ahead and pretend that we just pressed make a copy from your purchase PDF, and this is what you are going to go ahead and start with. So now, my biggest piece of advice is you are always going to want to have a master copy that's fully blank. I always love having a blank to go back to, so I would rename my blank one to master, and then I would go to file, make a copy. And now, I don't necessarily need to make a copy of this template a bajillion times because there's literally 500 entries. So I could literally just name this 25-26 school year support staff log, and I'm ready to go practically for the whole year. Or you could break it down by marking period if you really wanted. As always, you're going to have a start here tab. If you don't want to listen to my voice, you can go ahead and read. I'm going to go ahead and hide it for sake of this video. Now again, remember, everything that you are typing in the student, subject, reason, and staff called, that's all going to generate your drop-down menus. So another thing to always keep in mind, and this is a general rule of thumb for all our sheets, if it's something that is grayed out, there's a formula behind it. You don't need to do a gosh darn thing. You probably shouldn't type in that cell because you might accidentally delete the formula. Everything that's white, you can go ahead and fill in. You can go ahead and fill in your class list. And I just also want to remind you too that you don't necessarily even need to put your whole class list on here. You can literally just really enter your heavy hitters in here. Like if staff is never gonna be called on Charlie, you don't necessarily need to add them to here. You can keep it short and simple. And then for subject, and I did make sure to even go ahead and put testing, school-wide event, and dismissal. Another thing that I really want to point out to you guys too is you're probably like, oh my gosh, why are all of my things red? Like, that's broken. The color scale is not working. I don't get it. That's only because it knows the max value is this red shade, and it's viewing 0 as the max value since there's no entries yet. As soon as you log a data entry, the colors will know to adjust. So let's go ahead and add our heavy hitters that are always running around the building and helping us survive. Okay, boom. There's no color scale on staff called, as you can see. So now let's go ahead and we're gonna enter something that happened. Let's go ahead and say this was at 8:45, and it's going to even give you the little AM stuff. Let's go ahead and do my student. Let's do subject. I'm just gonna do morning meeting. Reason, this was aggression towards peer, and yes, there was an injury. We did remove the entire class. Oh, sorry, it's not yes or no injury. It is like who was injured. Was it the staff that was helping? Was it the student themselves? Was it a peer, or was there none? You can just leave it blank. I kind of like seeing none. It makes me realize I didn't forget to fill something in. But we're going to go ahead and say that the student did harm the peer. Now remember, maybe the student even harmed himself. Anything that's a bubble is multi-select, and then the name of the staff that was helping. And then you can go ahead and then fill out the duration. And for me personally, I view this as not necessarily just the duration of the behavior. I view this as the duration of how long that staff member was with the student for the behavior and for the de-escalation process. You know, the detailed behavior data on like the duration, that's going to be on a different data sheet more than likely. This is, you're trying to prove how much this staff is needed in your classroom, so we want those numbers to be higher anyway. To each their own though. And then obviously there's a note section. Anything you don't need, remember you can always just hide the column and bring it back when you need it. Now, just to show you too, let's just get a few entries in there. I didn't fill out minutes for this, but I, again, overall just wanted to show you that, as you see how all my zeros went back to gray. Again, I do literally, just for sake of this, let's say there's multiple peer conflicts. I just want to go ahead and show you the color scale on that. So again, this color scale is ranging from, we would go down to view more actions, conditional formatting. And right now it's on a color scale. We have the zeros as gray, and then it's going from a yellow to a red. You can go ahead and change these colors if you'd like to fit your needs. You would have to do it in each column that you'd want it to, like each column is its own set, but you can make them all the same. So that's like really it, guys. I think this one's very, very straightforward when you want to go ahead and take data. One thing that I did, just to tell you guys, I wanted to give you some tips and tricks on edit your colors and things like that. So if you want your subjects to be beautifully color coded and you want your reasons to go ahead and have a beautiful little color scale like these ones do, these drop down menus are super duper easy to edit. You're just going to go down to the little pencil, click whatever color that you want, and for me, since I knew I had more than 16 subjects, I literally just told ChatGPT to give me a list of 20-some color codes that are pastel and rainbowy, and that way, when I went to customize, instead of dragging this ball around a million times, I could just copy the color code right here. So another thing, when you press done, make sure you press apply to all, so that way it actually does go to all these drop down menus here. Same thing for reason. You're just going to come down here, you can press the edit button, and this time to generate the colors I did for this one, I said give me, these do not need to be primary colors, make them a stark difference. I want it to show increasing intensity from yellow, orange to red, and it gave me those color codes accordingly. I didn't see the need to change the color of my staff names, but again, you're more than welcome to. Now, for injury and removals, these are such few options that they don't necessarily need to be filled out on the dashboard. So these you can just go, like say you'd rather call it teacher than staff. You can go ahead and write teacher. Just remember that any time you do that and you press done, you are pressing apply to all. I really believe that that's everything you guys are going to need for this, and I hope that this is a tool that you can use to advocate and either get another specialist teacher or para in your classroom. Happy data tracking and happy school year!